God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. We are at, well, we finally made it to the Chicago Auto Pros shop, and I'm super stoked seeing all these cars all around. And it's like what I see on the channel for Chicago Auto Pros, I can actually experience it here today. But today, guys, we're gonna be working with Rupes, a product that I do not own. I've never really used a Rupes. So for me, it's gonna be like a first time experience, trying out these products that I probably have said in the past I would never buy. But today, I think it could change. So you guys might see me with some polishers here in the near future. But we're gonna be talking with Mr. Jason Rhodes from Rupes. And I have a couple questions for me to ask him. And hopefully these are some questions that you may have had in the past and maybe you've never asked. So stick around as we welcome him in and we'll get started with this video. Alrighty guys, we are with Mr. Jason Rhodes from Rupes. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm really excited for this one. Like I was telling everyone, I've never really owned a Rupes or used a Rupes. So I'm excited for what's gonna happen today and trying out a couple of the products. But really quickly, let's dig into this, or let's get into this. If I am a new detailer,
sure,
what's the average cost on these polishers?
How much you got?
Right now it's a little bit, but on average, I guess this one here is the.
So that's our 15 millimeter random orbital. But we have a full line of products. There's many tools. Our catalog's got many options for tools.
Okay.
But they all range in price from like 300 to 600. Somewhere in that range is where you'll find most of them.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're definitely affordable.
Well, we're positioned as, you know, the premium product. We're not going to be the low price leader
cheap,
on
for sure.
machines. These are Italian designed, made in the United States. It's a premium product. It's meant to be a purchase that you get for many years. It's not like the 6 month or 8 month use of a tool and then you recycle it and get another one. This is meant to be a long-term investment.
Awesome. A question I get asked a lot is, which by the way, one thing I did like was this. I like the little 15 millimeter here. But a question I get asked a lot is 15 millimeter versus 21 millimeter.
Yeah. That's a difference of 6.
What do you prefer?
Well, so they're both big orbit polishers. So a little bit of history I won't drag on, but in the category of random orbital polishers, 8 millimeter was a standard orbit for many years. Mm-hmm. So, you know, prior to 10 years ago, when you bought a random orbital polisher, it had a 8 millimeter orbit. So anything larger than 8 is considered a big orbit, large orbit. And so there's a 21, which is the biggest, and there's 15, slightly smaller, but still considered Bigfoot. Bigfoot is our nickname for a big orbit.
Awesome.
Now they both polish, they both remove defects. So if you want a comparison between these two, you know, the 15 and the 21, it really is a question of what kind of cars are you going to be polishing on.
Okay.
So if you're on big SUVs, you know, big large vehicles with lots of wide open space on, you know, lots of paint you're polishing, then the 21 millimeter tool, because of its bigger pad diameter, this is a 6-inch backing plate with a 7-inch pad that goes on it. So because of that bigger pad, it just lends itself really well for large vehicles. Okay. And then this is a smaller pad diameter, 5.5-inch backing plate, and that it gets into curves and contours and tighter places on medium to small cars. So that would be kind of the way you want to look at which one do I buy, 21 or 15. Really go back to the vehicle.
Awesome. And I guess a lot of people in the past have told me I cannot use this for like my everyday correction or polishing because it can, like, a lot of people tell me it'll like damage the curves and stuff. Is that accurate, or
No,
would I
actually,
have to drop down
any
to like?
any of these tools you can do every day, all day on all cars.
Okay.
What you might be hearing is that because this has such a large orbit and such a big pad diameter, doing this particular little edge work area, it is a little bit of a challenge to stuff that in there.
Okay.
But there is technique. So what we do is take this and we polish on this side of that ridge, polish that area, then we go on the other side, and you never go over it like this. So there is technique to do that area with a big pad diameter and a big orbit, but it actually is better with the miniature tools. Hold that thought. We have the Rupes Mini, which is also a big orbit. This is a 12 millimeter orbit.
Okay.
Big orbit, but small pad diameter. So that is actually much more comfortable,
Much better.
much more professional, much more efficient for doing edge work like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I guess the whole line. My next question is, I've had a lot of viewers, and this is going to about product. I was really wowed by the Rupes Uno Advance,
Oh, okay.
which they do have it.
Happen to have.
My question is, I had a lot of people telling me that I was advertising this product incorrectly. Because some people are telling me that I'm offering this as a paint enhancement in my business with a Rupes. I usually pair it with a Rupes white polish pad, which I don't know if that's the correct way.
It's a great way.
But some people were telling me that I'm supposed to be selling this as a 1-year coating.
Okay, so just to clarify, we have two products that are considered all-in-one. They are removing defects, shining up the paint, laying down protection. We have two products in that category. There's the Uno Advance and the Uno Protect. And they're both kind of similar versions in that category, except the Uno Advance has a lot more bells and whistles. It's a lot more features built into this Uno Advance. And one of them is that it has 12 months durability versus 3 months durability on the Uno Protect. So when you hear people talk about that 1 year, it's not really a 1-year coating, but we do have 1 year of protection built into the Uno Advance.
Okay.
Another feature of Uno Advance that is not consistent with Uno Protect is Uno Advance can be used as a maintenance polish for an aged coating. So let's say the scenario is you sold your customer a coating, you installed it on January, but then you get that car back 3 or 6 months later and you want to refresh that car and refresh the coating without removing the coating. So you're leaving a coating on the car, but Uno Advance will just polish over the area, remove defects in the coating, revive the hydrophobicity, the water beading, and then it makes it super slick and it refreshes that coating.
I definitely enjoyed the gloss. I think I got out of it at the end. Like, just the gloss I was really wowed, and the slickness.
Very
that
slick,
it's like apply, and it's when you buff it off.
Both of these products have that feature built in. We want the paint to feel super slick. It is one of the tangible evidence to your customer that you put something on the car. So customers can see, oh wow, that looks shiny, it looks glossy. They can see that, but when they feel it with their hands and it feels super smooth, they're like, okay, I know you put something down because I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your preferred method of pairing, like with what kind of pad would you pair this?
Well, if you use it as a maintenance polish on a coating, you definitely want to use our least aggressive foam pad. It's our ultra fine white colored.
Okay.
So in the Rupes line, we have those 3 pads, white, or 3 colors, white, yellow, and blue. Yeah. So it would be our white ultra fine foam.
Perfect. So I was using it correctly.
Yep. Hey,
Bam.
just happened to
Fly.
pop out of here from the universe. So the universe is cooperating.
It's probably my most favorite pads I buy is these white ones.
So that combination there with Uno Advance, this is how you use it as a maintenance polish on a coating. Now, there's abrasives in this bottle, and you could go after defects with that product.
Okay.
it just won't happen with this pad. So you have to step up to a more aggressive pad,
Like
the
a yellow
blue
foam?
or yellow,
Oh, okay,
yellow
okay.
foam, yellow wool.
There you go.
All I have to do is
Good catch.
speak it into existence, and here it comes.
Two of my most favorite pads, which is the white and the yellow foam.
Yeah.
I still haven't given into like the microfiber pads yet, because this is like my happy place in this in this realm here.
Well, now you said it. You mentioned microfiber, and it just pops up.
So I'm still getting used to or giving in to the microfiber ones, just because for me, I've gotten so well correction.
Yeah.
With, well, I guess what my business kind of needs or my customers wants, that with this is just perfect. But I do want to start kind of roaming into more of like the heavier.
Yeah, anything that's blue colored in our pad line, if you want to kick it up a notch on defect removal, you'll go to some of those blue pads. We have 3 different versions: blue microfiber, blue wool, and then blue foam. So those are 3 options, but they're all more aggressive than these pads. So since I'm just speaking pads into existence, I want to make a test here.
Yeah.
I would like a sack of $100 bills.
Let's see.
I guess it only works.
Maybe by the end of the video.
It only works for pads, I guess.
Maybe by the end of the video, money will start flying. And I guess another question that I do have is, I do see a lot of people, and I think I see it mostly with the wool pads, where they're saying, I think they're creating too much heat, and it's like ruining the pad.
Well, here's one thing that people kind of need to learn about these styles of polishers. So there's 3 major styles of polishers: rotary, gear-driven orbitals, and random orbitals. Okay. Now all of them generate heat when you polish, but the question is, where does heat go? You know, what is happening with the heat? Now with a rotary tool, the heat goes into the paint. It's a lot of frictional surface heat. But you mentioned the pads here. On random orbitals, the heat that's generated gets absorbed into the pad, which is why in our training, in our academy, in our Rupes presentations, we train that if you're using a random orbital, you need to manage heat. And it's the heat in the pad that you're managing, not on the paint. So we're talking about swapping pads as you do the car. We're talking about controlling your cycle time so you're not over-cycling. You do need to manage heat. If you ignore that recommendation and you just grind on paint and you take one pad and do the entire car, and you spend like hours with a pad, then you will stress pads. You will stress the material. And that's part of the education of using that style polisher.
Could putting too much force?
Yep, a lot of force, a lot of pressure, and long cycle times, you will kill a pad. So.
Awesome. And lastly, I've never used a Rupes. So from what I hear, is smooth, quiet. They say it's like the Ferrari of the polishers.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to at least put a pad on something, and I want to test it out.
I want to show you, because you mentioned smoothness, and that's kind of our claim to fame. It's what we built into all of our random orbitals, especially. We want that smoothness, but it's in addition to just being a desirable feature and helping detailers so they don't like have sore shoulders or vibrating hands. Vibration in tools is actually a regulation in Europe. So detailers in Europe, they can't have vibrating tools. It's against the law. So every tool that's sold in Europe has a rating on how many hours the technician can actually use it during a day before they have to stop using it if it has too much vibration. And the Rupes polishers are rated for 8 hours, a full day of a technician using it. So I want to
after
show
8
you.
hours, I'm assuming it won't work properly.
No, it has to do with the technician being exposed to vibrating tools.
Okay.
The tool will work fine.
Okay, so
but we're trying to protect
got it.
the
Gotcha.
technician.
The technician, got it.
Yeah. So
sorry, guys.
I have a demonstration to show you how tight the tolerances are. Now inside here is a counterweight assembly. So the way the tool works is there's a pad swinging around on an orbit, and then inside the tool there's a counterweight. So if these are equal, then the tool runs smooth.
Okay.
So the weight inside and the pad and the backing plate, if these are balanced, then the tool will run smooth. And I'll show you this. This is very demonstrable. So let me show you something. Now, if you put your hand right there, do you feel the vibration?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you viewers, it was vibrating when you put your hand on this tool. Now this pad, tell me how much that weighs.
Nothing.
That's exactly right. It weighs nothing. No, it's very, very light. I mean, this is
it's a light
really,
pad.
really light pad. But let's see how this light pad impacts the tool.
I feel like it went down.
Yeah. Very, very smooth now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can feel it now.
Yeah. So that little bit of weight on this counterweight assembly balanced out this tool. So what I just demonstrated is the tolerance within the engineering is so tight. It's actually a 5-gram swing in weight will throw the balancing off on this tool. And 5 grams is nothing. That's like somebody hosing on compound. You can actually put 5 grams on a pad and it'll be out of balance. So the tolerances are very tight. All of these tools are random orbital and they're all made to have that smooth
That's
vibration.
crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How once you put the pad, it changed the vibration.
It balanced the system.
Awesome. And you guys sell this, I think, in like kits.
Yeah.
For if they want like rotary, they'll have.
Sure.
Kind of tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
all of the 3 different styles of polishers: rotary, gear-driven orbital, and random orbital. You can buy the individual tool, or you can buy a complete kit that has the compounds, pads, and tools all together in one tool bag. All of our systems are sold that way. And since you're talking about that, I want to mention that everybody understand we're not just a tool company. We don't just sell tools. So we sell a whole system solution. So the pads you see here, the liquids, all of these compounds, all of these pads, the tools, we make all of it internally. We're one of the few companies in the industry that we make everything. There are lots of companies that sell a whole system, but they don't make everything. We make everything. So what does that do for you? It means that we science out the synergies between how the parts work. So we know this pad was designed to work with this tool, and this liquid's designed to work on that pad and that tool. Everything works together. So you get a whole system approach.
That's one thing I need to do, or at least give into or try, is make sure I stick to like, all right, we're gonna pair this with this product, with this pad, and give really the line the chance.
Give it a chance.
That it should.
Give it a chance. That's all we ask. A lot of people try to buy a tool and then you have your favorite compound, your favorite pad, and you use those together, and that's totally fine. You might get a great result. But what we would encourage you and everybody else to do is, if you're trying the Rupes system, do try the whole system. Make sure, just give it a try. Try everything together, because they're all made to work together, and you'll find that there's consistency, there's performance. It's how the tool works its best if everything is used as a system.
Awesome. Again, thank you for kind of just bringing this to light to me. From what I got out of this is, this machine is quiet. It's quiet, and the vibration is definitely like
super smooth.
It's smooth. I can feel like at the end of the day, like I know I'm not gonna feel like my hand kind of feel that that tingly. That's really amazing, and obviously kind of just showcasing some of the questions you guys have asked in the past. I finally get to ask them, just because I know a lot of you guys sometimes need help with that. I need help with that. I'm definitely not like a professional, and there's days that I need help with answering these questions, and today I was able to ask some of the questions you guys have dinged me on kind of on my channel, especially when it came to the Uno Advanced. It's not a coating, guys. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. Again, if I'm sure a lot of you guys have the Rupes line, let me know which one is your favorite, at least, so I can kind of start looking into. I think I'm gonna buy me a Rupes polisher. I'm gonna give in. We're gonna buy one, and expect a video soon. Hopefully in the near future with me using one of these. I'm either gonna buy the 15, or I might just jump to the 21, and let's give it a go. So as always, guys, thank you again, sir, for your opportunity.
Appreciate it.
And as always, guys, God bless you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Sweet.
That's a wrap.